Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. It is Friday, December 18th. This is your daily drop-in. This is the last daily drop-in of 2020. The last one that's planned, actually, for right now. I am Jeff Gargas with the Teach Better team. I've got Rae Hughart with me, and we're so thrilled to be here with you to wrap up the daily drop-in and have some fun with you today on Friday. Stick around. Make sure you get out grabbing a cup of coffee, cup of tea, or whatever you drink in the morning, and drop in the comments and start letting us know what do you want to talk about, where you at, what's going on, and we'll be back in just a couple seconds. Well, here we are, Rae.
Here we are, the last drop-in of 2020.
The last one. I have to ask, as the architect behind our daily drop-ins, which if anybody doesn't know, like, this is Rae. This is all Rae, these things. She's going to tell you whatever, but this is all Rae. And I got to ask, did you plan, like you and I, like we got to kick it off. We were on the very first of this daily drop-in that we've done. Is it 3 weeks that we've done?
3 weeks.
3 weeks of 5 days a week. You and I got to kick it off on a Monday, and now we get to close it on a Friday. Was that planned, or is it just kind of like you were like, oh, I couldn't find anybody else for the last day, so I guess Jeff and I will wrap it up?
No, here's the deal. You got to give the people what they want, and people really wanted me. And so I was like, okay, who's going to make me look the best, right? Like, who can I bring in that is not going to like overshine my humor, my insight? And so I picked you, buddy.
So I'm going to choose to take that as I'm such a great host when I'm on here that I really help you shine. And I know that's how you meant it. And I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me when you compliment me. I just really appreciate you a lot. I thank you for that. Yeah. Moving on to the comments. If you're dropping in with us and watching live, please drop in the comments. Let us know where you're at geographically, but also what platform you're on, what's going on. I'd love to know, is today your last day before winter break? Are you already on winter break? Yes. Do you not get a winter break? Like, where are you at and all that? If you're listening on the podcast, first, I hope you subscribe. And go and give us a rating and review, but also you should definitely like get connected with us everywhere else on social media at Teach Better Team so that you can join us live, because we are on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube right now. Brandon Beck is in the house. Says congrats on bringing a fire in 2020. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate you being here.
And Brandon, I loved your family photos you just posted.
Yes, adorable. So yes. Mm-hmm. Hello. Good morning. Nikki's here as well. Chelsea's here as well. Libby is in the house. I love when Libby jumps in because she's like, she reps Cleveland. So like, yeah. Gotta get here.
Libby has a good energy too. Like, I know that you've had have you had conversations with Libby? I feel like I've talked to Libby numerous times. And
at least a few, yes.
Yeah, Libby's got like good teacher energy. Let me tell you, good educator energy.
Like there. You can usually feel it just in her comments, which is weird to say, but it's true.
I know.
It's true. Chelsea, good morning. Good to see you. Danielle's here. Dave Schmidto in the house. Dr. Dave Schmidto, the boss on the team, which I know we say that about a lot, but let's face it, Megan's the boss, or at least like she's like the trifecta of bosses. We'll figure out exactly who's in charge. But Megan, good morning.
She was already working this morning. She texted me like a work question, and I'm like, girl, it's 6 a.m.
Well, Megan gets up super early to work out and then get to work and stuff. She's got 2 days next week and then on break. Wow. Curious if anybody else has that. So that's interesting because you're done today. Today's your last day, right?
I am done today. Yeah, my activity I'm doing with students today, and then we are off until the 4th, which is an institute day. And actually, we have plans for second semester officially in my district, so I have an idea of how we're coming back.
I love it. I love the idea. Danielle says last day finished grades 5 hours ago. Maggie's in the house. Good morning, Maggie. And Brittany Wolf is here. I don't know if anybody just saw, but the New Jersey Tourette's Association, or I'm not saying that, the New Jersey Center for Tourette's just announced that Brittany's going to be joining them for their teen summit in January. It's been really exciting to work with them and get that all set up. She's going to go there and inspire folks. If you don't know Brittany, You need to go connect with her. You need to go on her YouTube channel. Brittany, can you throw your YouTube channel in the comments so that we can share that out and people can connect with you and follow you? You can also get her at teachbetter.com/speakers or Speakers Network because she's over there as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Her YouTube channel is so good. There's so much content there. And as an educator, like, go watch a few of these videos. There's so many takeaways that we can not only connect with Brittany further, but then connect with our students that are in our classroom.
Yes.
I'm such a fan.
Yes. Brandon Beck says, real question. 2020. Are we ready for a real question? Is that like, can we go there right now, Ray? Are you farther enough down, like your coffee cup, or?
I won't lie. I feel like I need two because it's almost gone already, and I'm like, it's been 5 minutes. Can I have another? Someone? Yeah, that's what I need.
Me too. I was like, I should have filled all the way back up before, and I didn't. So Brandon says 2021 is going to be a revolutionary year for education. How will all of the changes impact what 2021 looks like going forward?
I talked about this kind of with Brittany last night on our mastery chat. I think this is a question that we need to start asking before we completely jump to conclusions, if that makes sense. Brittany, Rakan, who hosted Mastery Chat last night, when I did the recap with her, this was kind of her question to the audience. I know, Jeff, you were watching along with us, but she posed an idea where she was like, you are either going to be an educator that moves forward beyond this world pandemic and say, I became better because of this. And I am now taking this, this mentality of being flexible and trying new tools and stepping out of my comfort zone. And I will be a better teacher after. Or you can be a teacher that after we go back to some sort of normalcy, you go back to where you were 5 years ago. And her question was more so not like what that looks like, but more so as an educator, where do you want to fall? Like,
what choice are you going to make?
What side do you want to be on? And I think that that's an important question to start reflecting on, because you don't have to know right now, but you do have to kind of have an idea of where you want to be headed, And
I think that's a really, really great point, because that has to be the decision. And honestly, in my opinion, that has to be the conversation, because, so most of us don't have control over what's actually going to happen at the highest level. So we don't know whether they're going to make what we think is the right decision, the wrong decision, no decision, whatever going forward, or what those decisions are going to look like. But we can decide what we're going to do in our classroom, in our homes, in our buildings, in our districts, depending on where you're at and what reach you have, very specifically. But just all around, what are we going to do for ourselves and for our kids and for our colleagues that we've learned that we need to focus on, now, and what can we take away, what can we keep in place, or look to put in place when we have that opportunity. So I think that's a good answer. I don't know if that was what Brandon was looking for, but that's where we're going. So
hold on, let's keep going from there. We've talked a lot about anxiety. We've had people on the Daily Drop-In numerous times actually addressing like how we can like make good choices for ourselves. And one of the things that's been a very common theme in a lot of podcasts I've been listening to, but it's also come up on the Daily Drop-In, is you have to identify things that you can control and things that you can't control.
Yes.
And things that you can't control, you have to kind of let go of. And things that you can control, you have to make choices around. And so, we can't control if your school district that you work in decides, yep, we are going to put students first and talk about, designing content so that it's really student driven, mastery focused. We don't know the type of grading system they're going to put in place. All those things are elements that we can't control in terms of the top level decisions. But in the classroom, you can control almost every element of that in some capacity by designing your classroom in a way that is supportive of what your students need. And so while we hopefully start moving out of this trauma year and begin moving into hopefully the better education of 2021, the new kind of like age that we're moving into, you really have to decide what you want your impact to be, what you want your legacy to be. And I think it's a hard question, but I also think that it's so necessary right now.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Dave says, love this. Don't flip the calendar and leave 2020 behind. Decide on what is being brought forward. If 2020 didn't help you learn and grow, then you missed some opportunities. Brandon said, yes, of course. We talk a lot about New Year resolutions, but I've really found this conversation interesting to have because the future holds so much opportunity for influence education for the better. Yeah, and I think one of the biggest things that I have seen, not being someone who's not in a classroom, not in a virtual, not dealing with that extra added thing, is is a few things. There's a lot of things that we've been stressing and so focused on and putting really, really up front and up high on a priority during the pandemic are things that have always been there and should have always been important. Student relationships, teacher just mentality, like their well-being and their health and their and grace, right? And stress and all these things. One thing I've said a lot, like to administrators and the mastermind stuff, I'm like, teachers have a billion things on their plate, but here's the thing. They've always had a billion things on their plate. Right now, they also have a pandemic on their plate. So it's like another thing, but like, let's not forget when the pandemic goes away, the teachers still have a million things on your plate and it still have the most important job in the world. So like that can't stop. And let's not forget that after the pandemic goes away, there's still massive gaps in equity. And there's also the importance of relationships, not just with our students, but also with our teachers and with our colleagues and with our community, the communication piece. So all these pieces. So definitely a great conversation to have.
You know, we had a conversation, months and months ago, Jeff, that this is reminding me of, where we were talking about how when we have time, we make good choices for ourselves. We connect with other educators, we learn. And then when it gets stressful, when we get overwhelmed, the first thing that we do is we drop off the things that were for us, the working out, the connecting with others, the time away from work. And I actually think that 2020 has allowed people to kind of go on that roller coaster of doing that process and then realizing they can't afford to take care of them, or they can't afford to not take care of themselves.
Yeah.
They have to, even during the toughest of times, we have to still stay connected to other people. We have to still push ourselves to make choices that help us, stay healthy. And I really hope that that's something that carries into 2021, because educators very often put others first. And I kind of saw a theme in 2020 where teachers were still putting everyone else first, but then also not dropping off the things that allowed them to stay sane. And I hope that that's actually something that continues forward that I hadn't really thought about, because I think that was an important lesson a lot of people learned this year.
Yeah, definitely. 100% agree. A very important lesson. Yeah, and I hope that stays as well, because we've had a ton of guests on the podcast that say it in many different awesome ways that are better than I'm going to say, but like you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't serve to your highest ability if you don't take care of yourself. And I think and that goes back to sort of we had this extra level of grace we gave everyone, gave each other, and that needs to stay here, especially around that and being intentional. And speaking directly to administrators, a question that Josh Stamper and I had on one of our mailbag episodes is how do you embed teacher wellness and mental health breaks into the daily thing or into your practice? And my answer was, I know this is going to sound simplistic, but you embed it in there. Like you make it a priority, you make it happen. We've done that more during the pandemic. We need to keep doing that far, far beyond this.
Absolutely. So. And I cannot tell you how many resources my school district has pushed out about mental health and social emotional learning for adults in my district. I'm like, I've been in this district for, I don't know, more than 8 years. I'm like, I've never seen them emphasize so much that we have to take care of ourselves and how to do that. That shouldn't go away just because the pandemic subsides. No. Did you listen to the daily drop-in did you catch it that I did with Dave, where he talked about grace versus frustration, and then the middle was like empathy? We had this like beautiful conversation.
I was in that day, but I had a meeting that I had to get to, so I don't think I was around for that. I was only there for the start of it.
Right. So for everyone here, if you didn't catch the daily drop-in with Dave Schmidto, I want to say it was this week. No, it must have been last week.
I think it was last week.
It was last week. And we talked about where we can give people grace or we can become frustrated. And then in the middle is empathy, which is where you aren't just giving grace, but you also understand why you're doing it. It was a really, really wonderful conversation. He actually has a blog coming out on teachbetter.com, I think this week. So keep an eye on that this weekend, early next week. Dave Schmidto's blog on this topic will be so good. And we actually asked him during the day of the drop-in, we said, Dave, you have to go write a blog on this. And he did. And I was so super happy.
Dave Schmidto writes? That's crazy.
Oh, he put in the comment, grace, empathy, judgment. I apologize. Judgment is the.
I promise I'm going to get to the comments now because I was waiting because I really didn't want to interrupt that conversation. But Megan did want to apologize to you for not texting you at 4:30 a.m. When she was really thinking about it. Also from earlier, if you were here and you're watching, you need to connect with Brittany Wolf. There is her YouTube. I should know that it's just youtube.com/Brittany Wolf, but it's there. We really are too kind, Ray. I think we should really harshen it up a bit. Alex is in the house. Alex, good morning. Good to see you. It looks like Alex is having some blender problems. His blender exploded this morning. Check out Facebook, Insta, or Twitter for pics. That'll be fun.
That will be fun.
I'm not. Oh, okay. This was back to when we were talking about you need 2 coffees.
Guys.
Dave said he always needs two for that. Yeah. Love it. Spina's in the house. Hi, Carly. Good to see you. Wow, I missed a lot of comments here. Samantha's in the house. Samantha, great to see you again. Jumping up a couple minutes late this morning. We'll take you whenever you can get over here.
Yes.
Let's see. Who is this here that's saying good morning? Oh, let's see. Is that Calissa?
Oh, I hope
Good morning, Calissa. Good to see you. Megan Wells is here as well. We got a crew here this morning, Ray.
I love it.
Kylie's in the house.
I hope you guys all choose to join us for our 12-hour live because it's going to be even better. We have to talk about that.
Brandon Beck is quoting Dave Schmidto as focus on the focus. And there's Dave's grace, empathy, judgment. And Mr. Heller's in the house. Good morning, sir. Good to see you. So you just mentioned 12-hour live. So let's go there.
Sure.
Can we do that?
It makes sense. It's a lot of people in the comments are actually a part of it. We just haven't announced it yet. So shout out to those of you who you are a part of 12-hour live. And we haven't announced the lineup yet for that. So 12-hour live is December 29th. Jeff, are you going to be there?
I am, because, this was one of those things, like, Ray kept hounding me. She's like, hey, we got to do 18 hours or 24 hours live. We have to do this. And I'm like, I think 12 makes more sense. She's like, no, Jeff, we have to do 24. I'm like, Ray, you're being a little crazy. I think we should do 12.
Guys,
so we decided on 12. Everyone voted against Ray, and we got to 12.
You, Jeff, okay, I agreed to 12 after you were pushing 24 so hard. And I was like, 12, 12, 12, fine. And then we started making the schedule, which, by the way, guys, it's like every half an hour, there's like explosion going to happen on the screen. And you were like, even yesterday, I was talking to you and you're like, we should just do 18. We have so much we want to do. And I'm like, no, it's not.
I'm just saying. I mean, if you think about it, if we did 18, it'd just take us to 2 a.m. My time. It'll only be 1 a.m. your time.
You are ridiculous. Just
saying. Alex said he's going to watch the 12-hour live and then watch it again. Here's just 24. So that is, yeah. So Tuesday the 29th, starting at 8 a.m. Eastern time. And yeah, pretty much every half hour, we got people dropping in. We've got a lot of friends dropping in. Can I give away a couple of the, not necessarily names, but some of the, maybe the brands that are joining us, the teams that are joining us?
I would like to say, though, just to clarify, that it's not just people that are joining us, but it looked like on the schedule that I saw yesterday that every half an hour we're doing like giveaways that it like is nonstop all day. Like people sharing insight, people giving things away. It's just going to be insane.
Megan says after Master Chat, is this not 12-hour lives? It really is close because you were live not even 12 hours ago.
I know. This is the Teach Better Life, guys. People are like, oh, you guys go live sometimes, right? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, like 12 times a day.
That's why anyone on the team, it's like, hey, we need to get someone whatever for live. And it's like, yeah, that makes sense. Go ahead. Like, we need Mike. We need light. We need whatever. So we'll be live. So we've got a few people join us. I don't want to give it all away because we're going to be starting to push that out and announce that. We're kind of finalizing a lot of stuff today and this weekend, really.
And we are going to release like a half an hour
schedule, yes.
list, minus a few. Jeff, I think we should keep a few people off that will be like surprises.
All right.
But like more or less, I mean, every half an hour, every hour has a theme. I do think people should know that because obviously they're going to try and join us for the 12 hours. But if they have a specific topic they want to jump into to be part of that conversation, we do want to give you guys the opportunity to mark that in your calendar and make sure you join us. So
I like that. I think Kylie just got hired. She has great ideas. She said, or you just have to have one to finish out 2020, one to start. So we'll do it on the 29th and then on like the 1st or maybe the 2nd to give us a little bit of a break.
Kylie, whose team are you on? Whose team are you on, girl? No. Nope.
I think Chelsea, I think she just committed to being with us for the entire 12 hours. She says, well, I'm excited for live. I actually won't have to work this time. I'm excited to see. What's that?
Danielle, if you're still with us, Danielle, can you confirm if you're joining us for the full 12 hours? We really need to know.
Yeah, so Danielle, back in June when we did, if you weren't with us in June, we did this in June. We went 12 hours live. I think we did 8 to 8 then too, right? Would you say? I think we did. And it was a blast. I think Ray and I were only not on for maybe a half hour each, give or take. And it was nuts. I don't remember ever using the restroom. I'm not sure whether we ate or not, but it was. All I know is at 8:05, I still wanted to go, which is pretty awesome that's what we did. But we had multiple people that were with us the entire 12 time. Danielle took us to get, I think, ice cream, to get pizza. Like, she took us everywhere with her, which I think is awesome. So Alex is backing Kylie on her back. She says it'll be like Adam Welcome running a marathon and running back to reach his goal.
That is
Danielle's in. Dave got her commitment last night. Dave, I appreciate you working on things like this. This is really important things that we have going on in team, so I really appreciate you. I'm pumped because we got our friends from EduMatch Publishing coming on with us.
Excited for that.
We've got one of the bigwigs, one of the superstars over there, and then a few other superstars, rock stars. We may or may not be giving out some EduMatch books. We'll see what happens. Wink, wink. We've also got our good friend Sheldon Eakins and his team over at the Lead and Equity Center coming on, and a few other awesome guests to talk about equity inclusion. And Sheldon's got some fun stuff we're going to be giving away. If you're not aware of Sheldon, of the Lead and Equity Center's summit that's coming up in January, we're going to be giving away some all-access passes, which is pretty awesome. Who else we got going? Oh, what's that company? A lot of times when we talk about it, it's like 3 letters. They did our book. Who's that? They did a book thing.
Are you maybe talking about
the patch, like
the Dave Burgess?
Yes. Yeah. So I'm not sure if it's Dave or if it's Shelly or if it's Tara or if it's authors. I don't know, but Dave Burgess Consulting is going to be joining us as well. Our good friends there. So it's going to be fun. And there's a whole bunch of others that we're not going to mention. I like the idea of releasing the schedule, but putting some. Are you going to do like question marks in the design, or
we have
or are we gonna go with like the TBA, can we do like emojis that should give them a tip? I'm making this really difficult, but
you are. Actually, I won't lie to you, we have a number of different promos that we are creating right now, and some of them will have their picture, but it will be like blacked out so you can't see who it is. You can see the So if you pay attention to people's headshots, you might be able to guess those.
So it's going to be their actual headshot or their picture.
Yeah. It's their headshot.
I'm picturing right now, Alex is going to be grabbing all those and like putting them over the Twitter to see what matches and stuff.
It's their picture with no background, so you can see the outline of their body. And then it's black. So you're determining like who that is.
Two things.
Oh.
One, I love our social media team for coming up with that.
I do too.
2, I just love the fact that we have a social media team and the group that is just such an incredible group.
Speaking of, we have an open position on our social media team.
Let's talk about. Okay, hold that thought because we need to talk about that. I do want to give Danielle an answer so she can plan where we'd like to go. So do me a favor, if you're watching and you're planning to be with us for the 12-hour live, where do we want Danielle to take us? Last time we went for ice cream, and I can't remember, Danielle, if we joined you for dinner or like you picked up or whatever.
Yeah.
Danielle is willing to drive all over. I think she's in California. Danielle, I apologize.
Yeah.
But comment, let us know, where do you want Danielle to take us? Do we need to go to the beach? Do we need to go to Disneyland? Do we need to always social distancing? She'll put a mask on herself and on the phone and we'll be safe. But like where we want to go, Libby says coffee shop. Keep letting us know there.
You mean like on the phone? Like we'll be live on her phone and she's driving around listening to us. That's what happened last time.
Megan just wins. Megan just won the morning. Look, read that comment.
I
thought it was butterflies. I'm like, no, I'm not nervous. I'm like, oh, she said butterflies. She was there. Oh, Megan, that was perfect. All right, so let's talk about what you just talked about, which is we do have an intern position that we're looking for. So
yeah,
who are we looking for so that everyone, if they know someone, that they can reach out and say, hey, go see these guys and stuff.
Yeah, guys, I would love for you to share this posting. If you think of somebody who could be a good fit, it's just teachbetter.com/join-the-team. You can just see it. If you go to teachbetter.com, under the About section, there's the section that has like open positions that we have on the team. And we do have an open internship opportunity. We're really looking for somebody to help us on our social media team, primarily a lot of work with Twitter, but we're looking for somebody who's passionate, eager to get involved. This could be an education major. This could be a PR or business major. But we are trying to kind of expand the family. We're bringing somebody in to kind of learn with the social media department that we have and just continue to bring ideas and foster good conversation. So we actually have a lot going on in 2021, Jeff. You and I have not really released to our network all the goals, all the things that will be happening in 2021. But the social media team has come up with something every single month that is going to be in our network. And I am excited because this person will actually play a big role in helping us with the rollout of that monthly experience. We'll go with experience.
I like how you chose your words. I don't know that I fully comprehended or wrapped my head around everything that we've got going on in 2021. And I think what most excites me is there's a few things that I would consider big that everyone's going to have to wait until quite a ways into 2021 before they even find out. Because these are things that we haven't even talked about, like, hey, when are we going to share this? So there are ways out still.
That's the hardest part, Jeff, because for those of you who've been a part of the Teach Better family for years and years, like, we really have, what do we say? We tripled in size over the past year or so. And it's been insane because we're meeting with sections, departments of the team kind of throughout the month of December, and they were setting humongous, incredible goals about wonderful things that we get to bring to our network. And it was kind of this moment of, well, hold on, if every single group sets massive goals, doesn't that mean the year's just going to be all around insane? Like, I was looking strictly at January and February, and there are like 3 or 4 enormous announcements that I'm like, that's only the first 2 months of the year. Like, it's a little intimidating, but exciting, but like freaky. I don't know if anyone else is feeling that way. I'm feeling that way. Oh,
are we announcing anything during the 12-hour live? Do we have anything? Are we announcing some big things during that? Because I know we did some of that this last year. We announced the ambassador program in June, right? During the 12-hour live?
We did. And we announced the kickoff, if you remember the kickoff event.
We did the networking event, yeah.
So this one, the 12-hour live, will have at least 2 or 3 announcements, very, very large. And thankfully, this time we're not only getting to announce that, but we're actually bringing people in to be a part of the announcement because there's a lot of people that are involved in these big projects. So I'm very excited.
Megan can't wait for 2021. Quentin's asking, what is the topic? Quentin, I'm not sure what you're trying to ask there exactly, but right now we're talking about a 12-hour live and a lot of 2021 plans. If there's something specific, just drop another comment, let us know. I'm excited about that. But one thing, though, kind of rewinding back, like, we still have a few things going on right now in 2020. I know we're like right to the end, but I figure right now is a nice time. Can we touch on some of the things that are going on like right now? So
we actually have a few promos.
I love when you do this. You're like, all right, I'm about to start counting. How many?
We have a few promos that are only going on right now until the end of the year. And it's like, I'm already thinking about January, February. And I'm like, oh, wait, but we still have epic things going on right now.
Yeah.
So one is Gifted Grid. We've been talking about that all month long, right? Like, this idea of being generous, like helping other educators. If you are carrying that Teach Better mindset, you already have this mentality of yourself choosing to be better today than you were yesterday and better tomorrow than you were today. And right now we're challenging you to not only think about yourself in that goal, but also give a little bit to help somebody else. And so if you go to educationblueprint.org, we're encouraging everybody to upload at least one resource. This could be like for instance, today in my class, my end of the year activity should be something that I throw into Education Blueprint as just a resource for somebody to check out. Like, something small, you don't have to type up. This isn't going to take you hours to do. Literally will take you 2 minutes to just throw the link, throw the app, throw the resource, throw the website, whatever it is, into educationblueprint.org and share it with somebody else so they can bring that amazing idea to their students. Question,
because I know you did this. I know you already timed yourself, but and I'm literally doing this on the air. I didn't clear this with Ray before, so this is like real. This is how Ray and Jeff do things. When you go to upload that, would you mind recording it?
Oh,
and
sure.
Making it, and then you'll have the timestamp, and you'll be like, all right, here's where I started, here's where I end, and this is how you do it. And it took me, because what was it, 46 seconds or something? It took me to upload something.
I uploaded something the other day just to see how fast I could do it. I was like, if I have a link, because I just uploaded like a resource that was a link, and I was like,
okay.
And it was so easy because Education Blueprint isn't just like Teachers Pay Teachers downloadable resources. Like, it's actually everything. It's like podcasts that you like, that you want to share with other educators, or websites or apps, or it could be something that's downloadable, or it could be a grid that you like link to a PDF. Like, this is really, there's books on there that educators are recommending.
It can be a website. It can be a website that I go to for resources. Yeah.
Yeah. So the whole point is to have a one-stop shop where if you're like, I need something, you as the teacher can decide, do you need something like an activity that you want to be able to just download and use? Do you need something like an activity that's virtual on a website that you can just click on and use? Like, I really love the versatility. And there's an entire section on professional development. So what books are you reading right now that you think would benefit somebody? And then just throwing that up there. So I did it really quick. And literally it's like, I want to say it's like a total of 11 clicks. You have to like paste the link, choose the category, create a title, and then you have to confirm that it's free. And then it's like, just upload it. It's like so easy, guys. It'll take you no time at all.
And then there's a whole section, like one of the categories is grids. And so we're like Ray said, this is gifted grid, but like you just heard Ray talk about all the other things you could gift. So it doesn't have to be a grid. It can be anything. But we love, it's such a great team over there, Education Blueprint. So love everything going on. That's
been going on all December. We'll be pushing that out all through the new year. We really, really want to challenge you to choose one or 500 things to share. We'd really, really appreciate it. The next thing, what is this, the ambassador program? Oh, Alex, you're the best. I'm so glad the ambassador program has helped so much. The other thing going on, Jeff, is that we have some swag that was just announced with some promo codes.
We do. So you can right now get 25% off anything over at teachbetterswag.com. We also have 3 special limited time bundles. And so the bundles allow you to get 3, or actually one of them has 4 pieces of swag for a big discount on all of it together. So that's teachbetterswag.com. The code is Better Holiday. So that's 25% off. And you can just keep that copied. So copy Better Holiday and then go paste it over at teachbetteracademy.com because you can get 25% off any course over there as well. So we want to make it really easy so it's the same code both ways.
So, Jeff, I was DMing with somebody yesterday on Twitter who was saying, like, hey, I'm going to use the code Better Holiday, but, like, what courses are over at the Academy? Like, they had never logged in. So I was like, perfect. So you go to teachbetteracademy.com. You can actually learn about it if you just go to teachbetter.com. There's obviously a lot of description of what the Academy does. But if you just go log in at teachbetteracademy.com, you're going to see all the courses that are available. You can see every single one. It's like beautifully placed, and you can scroll down and see there are so many options. And one of them that I know we've been encouraging a lot is Dave Schmidto's course that just came out this month in December, which is Leading by Empowering. I know we have a time management course that launched in November by the incredible Jeffrey Gargas. So that's a good one. But we also we've been releasing courses on the Academy for years. Like, the Academy has actually been around from the Teach Better family for years. So you can go take courses on
I think it's 3 or 4 years now. Yeah.
We launched it like 3 years ago, I think. So
yeah, I think right.
I always tell people, to be completely honest, that the membership is way better. And Jeff, usually I say this when you're not around, because then I tell people you can cancel the membership whenever you want. So just sign up for the membership. And then if you like really hate it, then you can delete it. But if you want to buy the courses outright, at least the coupon code helps Better Holiday, because that way it gets a little bit cheaper.
But you mentioned membership, and the thing with membership, it's $9 a month, and you get every course that's in there and every course that gets released automatically. So you can literally, at this point, never pay the amount of value of the course, because one, it's increasing. It's like $1,000 worth of course in there right now, and it's continuing to increase every time they come out. So Michelle's here. Good morning, Michelle. She said, good morning, friends. Nikki, we appreciate you. She says, echoing what Alex said about the ambassador program. You all give me hope and keep me going daily. Jody's in the house. Good morning, Jody. Good to see you. Michelle just echoing that the Teach Better Academy is so worth it. And the membership, it's worth every penny and then some. Appreciate you so much, Michelle. What else we got going on? We talked about swag. We talked about courses, Gifted Grid, 12-hour live. Oh, I wanted to mention that next Thursday is Christmas Eve. Thursdays are typically our mastery chat. We are still doing mastery chat. That is still on. I'm actually really excited to moderate it. We're going to be talking about not waiting until the new year to get started on goals. So it's going to be all around goal setting and doing that. I've got the doctor, Mr. Dr. Dave Schmidto, joining me afterwards to go live. And we may or may not, I haven't asked Ray if this is okay, but I think she's going to be excited. We may or may not have a third screen on there tracking Santa. We'll see what happens.
That's what I was going to ask. I was like,
which means I may never get off live. I might just stay on all night tracking Santa. We'll see what happens.
I'm going to track Santa all Christmas Eve. That is my favorite thing.
So I asked Dave, I'm like, don't expect you to go live, but I thought maybe you'd want to come live with me. It's Christmas Eve. And he's like, yeah, actually his kids set like Santa traps. So he has to give them time to do it because they like to do it on their own. So he's like, I'm actually free like exactly during the recap. So I'm like, oh, great. I think we should track Santa. So by the way, if you Google Santa track, I know you like to use the NORAD tracker, right?
Yes.
So if you go to, I think it's Google or santatracker.google.com right now, there's like a whole bunch of these little silly games you can play. And I went there because I'm like, I got to see like when I can start tracking Santa. And before I know it, I'm sitting on a couch for like a half hour goofing around. Like you can set up this little like elf band. You can shave Santa's beard and like, oh, it's just some little weird games. And my wife's hearing it. Like she's like doing work. Like, yeah, like click on it. There's like stuff there. So you can, it's a blast. And Ray, every time you go back to that homepage and click start again, it gives you a different thing. You can mess around, do all kinds of stuff. Okay, Ray's gonna be busy for a few minutes. Did I have it right? Is it santatracker.google.com? Is that what it?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So you can do some really fun. So like, I just love Google because they do those little things. So anyway, so that's what's happened to go. Mark Heller's taking off. Mark, have an awesome Friday. Thanks for dropping in, brother. Appreciate you. So Dave said it's Santa hunting. So they do Santa hunting traps. Dave, I still need a crash course on what that is because I'm interested.
Well, he should share it on the live.
He should. We're going to talk about that on. We're definitely going to talk about that afterwards. I like it. I'm not sure what that is, but I wanted to put it up because it's Danielle. So she says, "Thanks, Doc. I appreciate you too." I think she just called me Doctor. So anyway, I got caught for about 20. What's that?
Dr. Dave Schmidto, maybe.
Oh, maybe Dr. Dave. So I got caught up last night for like 15, 20 minutes playing games on there. So that's a fun little tidbit for you. You're welcome. But yeah, so I think we might do some Santa tracking because I know you love doing that. My kids, I reminded my daughter who's 6, and she's so excited this year. She's been so excited for Christmas since like July. It's just been, and she's so pumped. And we're like arguing right now because she wants to sleep out in the living room to catch him. And to see him. Well, she really just wants to sleep out there because we got a big new like sectional couch and she loves it. So she slept on there last night. But I'm like, no, like you have to go to bed for Santa to come and stuff. She wants to do it. So I reminded her that we're able to track, and she got like jumping up and down excited. So I know that's how you respond as well. So that's going on. So Master Chat is going on both next week on the 24th and on the 31st. We got Trey Gamage leading us on the 21st. If you don't know Trey, he's over at our Speaker Network as well. But Trey has got some really, really great stuff going on. You talked about this earlier. Trey's focus, now he's in a district. He works with the district on SEL as his focus, but his big passion is actually SEO for adults, primarily teachers. So he's got some really great stuff and some new stuff launching right at the start of the year. We're going to be talking about that afterwards and stuff too, but he's got a nice chat lined up. So Master Chat does not stop for anything. We
never cancel Mastery Chat. And
we never have.
We do question every time it falls on like a Christmas Eve or a New Year's Eve. We're like, should we actually be having Mastery Chat? And you guys should know that we bring it to the team and everyone's like, maybe. And then Jeff Gargas is always like, no, we're keeping it. So,
we don't cancel
it. That's real life. Mm-hmm.
The fact of the matter is, holidays, different days, stuff like that, not everyone celebrates the same thing. And our community is worldwide, and we love everyone. And I'm like, hey, that's all right. Like, we're going to do it. We're going to be there. If it's a slower chat, there's not many people, I don't care. I'm going to be just as pumped to be on live afterwards. We're going to make it happen. We have done some things on like a 4th of July where we did like a slow chat. Like it was more of like an automated thing, but we want to make sure it's going.
We got feedback from our network that they wanted the chat. And so I hope you know this, but it truly, truly is the truth on how we operate. We just take your feedback. Like if you say something enough, we just end up doing it. So the 12-hour live is one of those things, but we had this year alone, we had a Mastery Chat on 4th of July, Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, New Year's. I mean, it just seemed to be a Thursday kind of like 2020 in my opinion. And we just
Thursday went all 2020 on us.
It went all 2020 and like it is what it is, but we don't like to change up the schedule because I like your point, Jeff. Not everybody celebrates the same holidays, and if you are taking time to step away from professional development to spend time with your family, we fully support that. We intentionally record everything and allow for conversation to continue afterwards. You do not have to be there live in the moment to participate and get value. But if you're free and if you're somebody who's like, well, I'm not celebrating Christmas Eve and I really would love to hang out with my Teach Better family, like, that's why we're here. I don't celebrate Christmas Eve either. And so it's nice to be able to still have our friends and family get together, even if, not everybody's able to join. You can join us afterwards.
Agreed. That makes me want to share one segment from the 12-hour live about friends from different places.
Oh,
we don't have to share names.
Okay, go ahead.
Is that okay? Am I allowed to, or is that like a special one?
I mean, you're breaking all the time, so.
Okay. So one of the things for 12-hour live that we got for 30, it's a 30-minute segment. One of the segments we have people dropping in. We've got friends from literally all around the world dropping in. And this is really exciting. One, because we love our people from all around the world. And sometimes, depending on where they're at in the world, they can't jump in live to things like this because it's like in the middle of their day tomorrow. So we're really excited about that because, and for me, one, because we just want those people on. We want you to connect with them if you're not already. But also, like, I love the fact that our community is worldwide. Yeah. And because there's so many, because it's the reach, but there's so many different viewpoints and mindsets to compare how things are and aren't and all this stuff. And so that's gonna be really fun. I'm really excited about like the questions that are gonna come in for our friends stuff. So we got some friends from around the world. So that's exciting. I won't say any more. I'm done.
No, but can we emphasize, Jeff, like that's kind of the beauty. Like we always try and see a silver lining. That is kind of the beauty of this virtual world of connecting with people. As many of you know, the Teach Better family is virtual. I mean, Jeff, the last time I saw you was March, before COVID shut everything down. We probably won't see each other again.
In my life. It's sad every day.
We probably won't see each other again for a long time. Like Jeff and I live nowhere close to each other. Everybody on the team, we don't really get to see each other. This is a virtual family, not only as a Teach Better team, but as a Teach Better network. We're virtual. And so when we are given the gift of actually having this virtual opportunity, it means we can connect with people from all over the world. It does not limit us by our location. And so I think it's so wonderful that we're able to celebrate people that aren't in the Midwest or aren't in the United States because they're a part of this being better, this Teach Better family. And I love that we're able to include them, even if they're not on the beautiful central time zone. Just saying.
It really has been. It hasn't been. It was March, the second week of March that we saw each other. And usually we only see each other like 3-4 times a year anyway, but still. True. Like in person. I mean, I see you way too much, but like, you know what I mean. Danielle is asking, what hour will Chad grace us with his presence? Chad will be there for the 12-hour live. I know Chad isn't on lives as often, but that's because a lot of days Chad is on Zooms with schools and teachers, or in some cases still, even now with the pandemic, he's in schools. If they're, doing all right and the safety measures are there, but Chad will be with us on the 12-hour live at some point. I'm not going to say when. You have to hang out and find out. He may be in multiple times. We'll see what happens.
There is a very exciting thing that we're excited to share with Chad on the 12-hour live. So some good Chad mic drops. Let's just put it that way. Chad's awesome at those mic drops. Like, he's golden with them.
I always joke. All I do with Chad is I just you got to find the right question and you just put the quarter in. And you're like, all right, and answer this. And then you're like,
virtual
what is it?
Staff meeting. This is my old school Lombard. I love Lombard.
Is that your old school? Okay. Is that where Jody is?
Jody is in Galesburg and she is doing amazing work. Okay. I just told her I really would love, Jody, I'm telling you this out loud to everybody so they hold us accountable. We need to set up a Zoom call and catch up because I miss your face and Jody's just full of positivity. You can see it in her profile photo. She just radiates love and positivity. What?
Can you just do it live?
I mean, I would love to go live with Jody. Yes.
Jody officially committed.
Done.
Now, I'm pretty sure she typed that before I said live, but she just committed. It doesn't matter. It's on screen. It's set. Just saying. And Dave Schmidto's asking the question that everyone's asking.
Oh, stop. Chad Ostrowski is the ultimate famous member of the Teach Better team. I think Chad is up on such a high pedestal for so many of us. Jeff, I don't know if you saw my interview I did with Unlock the Middle, but they asked me what educator or what person has influenced us the most in education. And I literally prefaced it with, please don't tell him but probably Cheddar Shusky. I was like, please don't tell him, don't tag him, nothing. He'll never find this. And then, of course, there were all these Teach Better family members that were like, I'm going to tell him. They were tagging him all over. I was like, don't, his head is already so big. Don't add to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could pretty truthfully say that we wouldn't be here without Chad because it was a silly idea that he had in his 7th grade science classroom that turned into the grid method, which then led into the Teach Better team. And it was the grid method that I tried to sell you, which is how we got connected. So yeah, I think it's a fair. Am I a little bit disappointed that I wasn't the one you said? Yeah, a little bit. 95, 98, 100,000% disappointed, but I get it. I totally get it.
He really did shape who I am as an educator. I connected with him my first few years teaching, and I really loved the job. I loved what I was doing, but I knew that I was missing an element of what I wanted the classroom to look like and couldn't figure it out. And then he was like, oh, here's the missing puzzle piece that you needed just to help you out. And I was like, what? It was crazy.
Dave said he's like the Wizard of Oz pulling so many levers behind the curtain. And Alex says, I think Chad is the guy who sometimes chats with people about stuff. I think that's right. I actually have, I don't have my iPad. I have in my notability, I have a note from forever ago when Chad said it. I think we were on a meeting or something, and he was joking about like the grid method. He's like, just draw some squares and put some stuff in it. So that's what it is. Sometimes he talks about stuff.
You like to give Chad a little bit of grief because he came up with the grid method, which literally has changed lives, my life included, truly. And I say that while I've been sharing a lot of sarcasm, like it is just the reality of the situation is that Chad Ostrowski changed my life as an educator. However, I will tell you that we then joke that like he doesn't need any other good ideas. Like that was the only one. So we'll be in a meeting sometimes and he'll have an idea and we'll be like, whoa, Chad coming with a great idea.
I actually think, I don't know that we told him he doesn't need it. I think typically what we say is he gets like 3 a year.
Yeah. No, I think it was one every 3 years.
Oh, is it one every, you're right. That's 3 years seems a little high. You're right. I think it is 1 every 3 years. So when he does it, we're like, whoa. And it's like, all right. He's like George Costanza. He's like, I'm out of here. I'm done. Leaving on a high note. So yeah, I think he's due for one.
No. He had some great ideas this year. If you guys go to teachbetter.com, the Teach Better bookshelf was an idea from Chad.
That was Chad, yeah.
And that started in 2020. And there's been like 2 others where I'm like, Chad, hold on. Could you bring this back up in like 2025? Because it was too much.
That's true. I got it. Going back to the original question, yes, he will be there for the 12-hour live. And like Ray said, he does have some exciting news that he'll be something exciting that we'll be announcing with him. So that's fun. Are we able to, and I apologize to anyone watching or listening if I get you excited and I'm told no, because it's totally okay because
I'm not on the spot that you're like, can I have permission to be like, no.
But yeah, look, you put two owners of the team on screen and decisions can be made in live time. It is what it is. So I know you and the social media team did some work. I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before, like spent a couple hours together coming up with some really cool stuff. I know some of those things, and I'm not going to give away, are everyone knows we do giveaways. So you will come up with some really cool giveaway ideas. I think we may or may not do some of those on the 12-hour live. Are you able to share like one of them? Or maybe if you don't want to share specific, like something, give us something, because they're really cool.
We started this conversation with Jeff being like, can I share this? Like he's looking for me to have permission. But here's the best part. I haven't approved these giveaways with Jeff. So if I say something that he's like, we can give that away, it's like, too bad we already announced it. Like this
it's a twofer. It's a win-win. All right.
It's a you don't know, I don't know, so therefore it's fine.
So if any of them are expensive, use that one first.
Yeah, so we are giving away swag. That's happening. So I'm excited for that. And then
I'm good with that.
And then my favorite thing we give away that I don't mean to sound ignorant, but I just think that there are sometimes things that you shouldn't be able to give away. Like that's kind of my mindset where I'm like, oh my God, you just gave away like all of our company, or like things where like you can't actually give that away. That's not something that like.
Okay. I'm gonna stop you. Like if one of the giveaways is like the company, we're not doing that. Like that's I don't care what we say a lot. Okay.
But years ago, Jeff, and it was right as I was new on the team, like 3 or 4 years ago, you decided that we were going to give away lifetime access to the academy. Mm-hmm. And when you said that, I was like, you can't do that. Can you? Like lifetime access, like you get access to every course in the academy for life, not only what's in there now, but what's in there in the future. And I was like, forever. You can't actually do that, right? And you were like, why not? And I think we were live on camera. So I was like, okay. And we're giving away some of those this year on 12 Hour Live.
Ooh, are we really?
Yeah. Good. And to me, I'm like, that is insane. Like, I love that giveaway.
I love that. That's exciting. Alex hosts one of the giveaways is a virtual game night with 3 Teach Better team members, and we were choosing. Ooh,
that's a good idea.
We are that list. That could be fun.
We are giving away some one-on-one coaching, free coaching with the team, which I think.
Ooh, that's cool. That's neat. Nikki says, I unashamedly love Teach Better swag. Yes, she does. Megan, we'll see you. Thank you so much for dropping in and hanging out with us for a little bit. Nikki also has a lot of swag because Nikki just cleans up. Well, she's been a little nice. She's been patient, I think, to allow others to win during brain breaks. But there's like 3 weeks where Nikki just cleaned house on brain break wins. So we do a lot of giveaways there. So I'm always a fan for giveaways.
Well, but swag is also something that I know Nikki loves. And Nikki, you're going to be thrilled with our 2021 goals because we have a new collection that just came out in our swag site. So you can go check that new swag out because I know you don't have those yet. And then we actually have a number of different swag collections planned for 2021 that will be exclusive to certain times of next year, only with certain types of people. I mean, we have a lot planned for our swag store in 2021. So get excited.
I want you to know that my oohs right now are like, if you're watching, like they're legit. I don't know what she's talking about.
That's the best. Guys, I have loved.
He hasn't told me about any of it. So.
I have loved taking over some of the 2021 plans because Jeff will come to me. He's like, hey, is there anything going on? And I'm like, oh, I don't know, like 12 new projects as of yesterday. And then he's like, can you update me on like 5 of them? That's really all I need.
So I think it was the 12 Hour Live because so in June, the 12 Hour Live was a little, let's see, we put it together a little more quickly. We'll use quickly as the right word.
You need to tell that story really quick. Like, what's the short version of that for real?
So the short version is I come to Ray and I said, I have this idea. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go live for 12 hours straight. If I'm being completely honest, my original idea was like, I'm going to go live for 12 hours straight and hopefully people will drop in. And there may be some time where I'm literally just doing work or on call or whatever, but I'm going to be there with everyone.
And I told
and Ray's like, well, no, let's organize a little more. We can have people drop in. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Yes. Good call. I'm glad I said something. Well, actually, I originally started with talk me out of this was the very first words I said. And actually your first response, I'm visualizing now, was, when do you want to do it? And I'm like, that's not talking me out of it.
No. You said, here's my idea, talk me out of it. And I said, okay, when? Meaning, I would like to talk you out of it. When would you like to discuss this? And you said like June or July.
June 10th, I think it was, yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's 2 weeks from now. We'll talk about it then. And then a few days later, you started telling people we're going live for 12 hours on the 10th. And I'm like, that is not what I agreed to. That is not, I said we would talk about it.
But then you did, you get the credit for like saying like, hey, let's organize this a little bit. When we did the people dropping in stuff. But it was still like a lot of the giveaways were just kind of like on the spot as we were going. This time we're a little more organized and a little more prepared, and it's gonna be a good time. So I love that there's all these ideas happening that I don't even know about when it comes to the giveaways, because then I get to be like, I don't get to know, I just get to be excited, which is fun.
And there's like 300 more people joining us this year than they did in June.
It's gonna be a good time. If we did 18 hours, we could do more people. Just saying.
No.
All right. So Maggie and Nikki are definitely saying ambassador swag, so we need it in there. Do we have any ambassadors joining us on 12 Hour Live?
Yes, we do. And that is a big part of our 12 Hour Live. We have some very fun things that they don't know about and that you don't know about.
That's what I like I don't know about either. Oh, geez. I'm right with all of you. I don't know. So I'm going to come and just watch the 12 Hour Live instead. But super excited for that. So Ray, I know this is your last day with the kiddos. before your break. I think a lot of people are there. It sounds like a few people. I know Megan just has a couple days next week, and there might be a few others. My kids actually finished up yesterday, so they're officially on break today, and excited about it because they're just getting closer and closer to Christmas. So I'm excited. We're about at time here, so I want to make sure everyone can go. But Ray, can you share just for a minute or two? I think one of the important things with this is going into holiday season, like even during the pandemic, like the holiday stuff between gifts and trying to do stuff with family, whether you're doing it socially distance or doing it virtually, other stuff, like it can still actually be a stressful time and not necessarily always relaxing all the time. And I think it's really important always, but even more so because of the 2020 we've had for educators, really, really specifically to really get an opportunity to kind of relax, re-energize, reflect, and get ready to come back stronger in 2021. What are some of the things that you're doing or planning to do to get yourself sort of to get that energy back, to give yourself some time to relax and to get in? I mean, everyone knows you're going to be working because you obviously you work with us and you don't ever stop, but hopefully you'll stop a little bit. But like, what do you got? What's on tap? Like, what are you doing? Are you doing much of like reflecting, diving in? Are you really focusing more on yourself and relaxing? What's your balance like? Like, what's the plan other than wine?
No. So the honest truth, guys, is that I have shared that I really like working. Like I love the projects going with the Teach Better team. So being productive makes me feel good. So that will be a part of the next year of my life. Cause I love seeing these projects come together. Like that gives me such an excitement.
I think that's why we work really well together. Cause that's something that fills both of our cups. Like yes. So,
but additionally, obviously very safe, like really taking time with the dogs as like, I've said this numerous times on podcasts, like if I can get a half an hour with the dogs every day, like real time, that will be a lot of my holiday break is some puppy time. And then my sister is visiting from Scotland with my brother-in-law. And I talk to my sister constantly. Like we are always chatting, but I don't get to see her in person more than like twice a year. And so I really, in a very safe way, I'm very excited to finally see her and just have some girl time. You know what I mean? Like just some good sister.
So when are they getting in? Obviously flying in. Are they already in town or are they coming in early? They are
down 3 weeks ago and they were in quarantine.
Oh, they've been okay. Because they had the quarantine.
Yeah, they got COVID tests, and then they're just trying to kind of lie low, only see obviously the family, because everyone's very, very conscious because of COVID. But I'm very excited that I kind of made the cut as somebody who's able to hang out with her a bit, and they have some fun things that we're excited to do. So
that's really, really cool. That's exciting. Brittany fully supports puppy time. Brittany is a huge puppy. Her and Scott both. Her husband Scott, big puppy folks. Jody gets it. I would charge by getting things done. Danielle just still reflecting on the 12-hour live. She said it filled my cup and gave me butterflies. If you don't know what butterflies are and you're not there, the 12-hour live, it's two parts because there's streaming limitations, so we actually have to stop and start again in the middle. I think it was on the first half of the June. That is on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/teachbetterteam. So you can go watch that and find out what that is.
Also, if you're friends with me on Facebook, I just shared it. So go to my
did you really? Okay.
And like scroll through my feed. Like it's like one of the top 5 posts or something, 10-ish.
Alex, if you mean, do I go crazy? I actually don't. I do. Here's how I do with presents is we're very good. We actually believe in we don't go crazy because they don't need a lot. We're very blessed to have a lot. We usually try and do something big and special for them. But we really we know that they're going to get a ton of presents from grandparents and aunts and uncles and stuff. So we don't do a ton. And only very few gifts come from Santa and they're small. But with that being said, yes, typically right before Christmas, I do that. I go crazy. I'm like, I gotta give them more, and I go find a bunch of stuff that they don't need, and then we regret it. But I actually do that more so I think with Amy than I do with the kids because Amy never wants anything. She's so low maintenance. It drives me crazy. So I have to when my wife gets a gift card to somewhere that she loves, I have to make her spend it because she won't.
You should do a live with Amy at some point. Or I would love to interview Amy at some point. Can we make that a goal?
Yeah. On camera? I'd be interested in her response. I know should probably be okay with doing it on the podcast as a bonus episode. I don't know how if she would be up for doing it on live. She might surprise me. You're gonna text her? She's working. If you're texting her, ask her that question. If you want, you can probably ask her for some like puppy pics because she's got, my wife's a vet tech, so she's always got pictures. So yeah, something thinking. So Alex, yeah, I probably do treat it that way. But I like to think that we're pretty good with our kids about being grateful for what they have. In fact, the other night, my 6-year-old, my daughter Jacqueline, told me that she's so excited for Christmas, and getting to go to see Grandma for Christmas, and we're doing like a virtual thing with my brother for Christmas Eve. And I'm like, yep. And she said something about, I wonder how many presents I'll get. I'm like, well, does it matter? And she goes, no, it doesn't. I said, well, what matters? And she said that we all get to be together. And I'm like, oh, good job, buddy. Now, if I ask my son the same thing, he might answer differently, so I just don't. So Nikki's looking forward to being able to spoil her dogs with the attention he deserves for 2 weeks. Good long walks, car rides. Do your dogs like car rides?
Not so much.
I know you go for a lot of walks, but
I know when I'm up to see my sister, we are going to do a lot of like beach visits, like even though it's cold, like bundling up and going on long walks to the beach. So that will be kind of a part of that. But
okay, Alex was asking like if it's the same way where like you have stuff and I don't know. No, it's actually more likely that would happen where Amy doesn't know because I went and bought something that we hadn't agreed on, and spent more money than we were supposed to and didn't tell her. Just like the family art, like there's already several gifts for the family that she doesn't know. Yeah. Sometimes it's me going, what's something I want that I can say is for the family and go drop a bunch of money. So there may or may not be something like that this year. We'll see. But I appreciate you asking that. Scott has to make, Brittany, if you know Brittany, that just makes total sense that she doesn't go buy herself anything at all. But her husband, Scott, I'm just going to say, go find Brittany Wolf on Facebook so you can be friends with her, just so you can see the pictures of her and Scott. They're like the most, I'm making her blush, but they're like the most adorable couple, and they're just the best people in the world, so they're so much fun to watch. Or maybe Jody says, or maybe Jeff is worried that he would be a topic of too many of those conversations between. I actually think it'd be really fun to hear you ask like her from like, what's it like being there at home with this, because she knows so much about the team and she gets to hear things before most people. She gets to hear the conversations where it happened before they turn into like decisions and stuff or ideas and stuff. And I'd be really interested.
When I'm able, like pre-COVID, when I was able to like visit Jeff, it would be like Jeff and I working for hours and hours and hours with Chad and everybody else from the team who would be a part of that. And then when we're not working, I get to talk and hang out with Amy. Like when we were talking about the conference, like, yeah, the conference was so fun, but I texted more with Amy, I think.
Well, she played a big role up there, running the front there. So we were all.
And she saved my butt when I was driving around Ohio and you were asleep because I was picking up people from the airport. And then I texted Amy being like, I just picked up people from the airport and delivered them to their hotels, but I don't know how to get back to Jeff's house.
Yeah, because we used to be like, whenever you come, a lot of people don't know, like you have your own room down here in the basement. Well, you and the cat. And Mittens misses you. It's been a rough year for him without you here. Yes, I think that'd be fun. I'm interested to hear how she answers, whether she decides to come on there.
I texted her, so we'll see. But
we'll see what happens. So
we do have to go, Jeff, because I have students.
Yes. We gotta go. So remember, 25% off swag. There's swag bundles over there at teachbetterswag.com. 25% off courses at teachbetteracademy.com. Both of those are better holiday for that. Gift of grids going on. Educationblueprint.org. Get over there and upload something 12-hour live on the 29th. Intern position. Go to the website, our team, and you'll find our team and work with the team. Mastery Chat next week. Have an awesome Friday. We appreciate you. We'll see you over on Twitter and Instagram, wherever it might be. Have an amazing weekend. And Ray, have a great last day of school with your kiddos.
So excited.
See ya.